Hey everyone, my name's Jason. I just wanted to ask yourself one question today. Is your ego your friend or your enemy? Let me take the time to explain exactly what I believe the ego to be. When you're growing up as a small child, you start to learn some of the constructs around you, how to brush your teeth, how to go to the bathroom, how to take pride and ownership, how to take things away, how to say no, how to say yes, things like that. And eventually, as you grow up, you have this other kind of worldview that kind of attaches it to yourself to protect you. So when you're first made fun of, or when you experience your first kind of abandonment, when your mom and dad leaves for work or something like that, um, it really kind of shapes your worldview. So this little thing, kind of in the background, kind of hovering, that's always there, is called your ego. Your ego always wants what's best for you. And guess what? What's best for you might not actually always be what's best for you. Say, for example, I want $10 million, but my current income is about $40,000. Guess what that ego is going to hold on to? Not the $1 million. I could tell you that for free. Guess what? You want to go for the best relationship possible. You want to date a whole bunch of people. You want to be discerning. You want to, let's say, pick the best partner, but instead you pick the best one for yourself that's actually not best for yourself. Well, that's the ego in action. So, what I'm trying to say, yes, the ego can be your friend or it can be the enemy, but you need to know how to talk to it and you need to let it know that it can take the driver's seat. Actually, what I mean, it could take the passenger seat. That's what I'm saying. So, this little ego, when you're growing up, like I said, it starts to become in the driver's seat. It keeps you stuck to a certain degree. And by getting to know it, by getting to experience it, getting to understand it, getting to talk to it, maybe even making friends with it. I had this analogy with myself quite some time ago. I pictured myself in the driver's seat and I also pictured my ego in the passenger seat. But what I realized in my life, in my mid 20s, was that my ego was actually in the driver's seat. It did want the best for me at all costs, but it actually stifled my growth. This isn't true for everybody, but it's true for a lot of people, and it keeps them stuck. It keeps them in a stuck world of, in different domains of your life, like health, for example. I clung on to my dear self as a larger human. I used to weigh 300 pounds, and now I don't. I really had to let go of that identity, and my ego did not want to let go of that identity because I crafted it ever so carefully. I used to not want to take risks, but last year I took the risk of joining a mastermind group for an absurd amount of money for my time, and that wasn't in my worldview. But guess what? My ego didn't want me to, and that's what caused this tension between me and the reality I wanted to move to. So I really had to have a sit down and chat with my ego, which is part of me, a deep me, and say, "Hey, this is really uncomfortable. This is what we're going to do." So it's like a forced behavior. So eventually you could actually not necessarily resist the ego, but actually either kick it out or just kind of go with it. If you make small incremental changes daily and come up to that set point of, like, let's say, for example, I want that $1 million, or I want that best relationship, or I want to be really healthy. That new set point you're going to encounter resistance from your ego because any kind of change the ego hates. It likes the status quo. It likes just being itself and it likes how you are. That's the beauty of it. So actually, it's your best friend because it absolutely loves who you are. Sometimes at the hindrance of the future. Okay. So how are we going to turn this into action? That's a really good question. So today I want you to either journal or talk or do something to say, "Hey ego, what's up? How you doing? What's my set point currently in these different domains of my life, in my health, in my wealth, and in my relationships? What's my current set point? And why does it scare you so much? Honestly, why does it scare you so much, ego, to want more. Oh, that's right. Ego, it's your job to actually not necessarily want more, but to protect us. I can guarantee that as your set point incrementally, like I said, incrementally moves higher to, let's say you're making $40,000 per year and you now suddenly make $50,000 per year with a little extra work. Your ego is going to say, "Hey, this is our set point. This is now our thermostat. This is where we're going to aim for and keep you safe there so you can't go back." Okay? You see what I'm saying? So if you take little steps, the ego will also kind of take little steps with you. It's incremental, it goes doop, 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 doop. So we want to actually work with ego as our friend and actually say hello to it because it's been a passenger all of our lives and will continue to be a passenger all our lives. We can talk about dissolving the ego another day, but until then, I'd like to say, hey, ego, I'd really like to thank you for being an honest teacher, and I'd like you to be my passenger. And I'd like to, you know what, help me keep surviving. And guess what? I can still survive at $1,000,000. I can still survive at the best state of relationship. I can still survive at that set point health state. But guess what? Once you reach that level that you feel like you really want, your ego won't let that go because that's your ego's new set point. It's really scared. So you can actually work with your ego and you can actually uh, divide and conquer that way. Um, this entire script was from the top of my head. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I've been doing a lot of thinking over my life, over my time, and these are the thoughts that come out. These are some of the thoughts I have in my head, and this is how I grow. I'd also like you to grow as well. So take the time to journal, talk to somebody, talk to your ego out loud, and let's grow together. And if you want to personally message me, my email address is in the comments section. If you want to have a chat about the ego, just message me or put a message in the comments and I'll contact you. All right. Peace out, my friends. Thanks for watching and taking the time to get to know your ego. Cheers.